That was short, as I had promised. Now I'm going to a first layer of white. This is almost dry. And by the way, let me show you, if you saw episode 8, let me show you what just happened in the last 5 minutes. The sun came around the corner of a building down there, and that's not a bad view right there, but I don't like it as much as what I was looking at just a little while ago. So the good news is I have an old phone that won't be able to see this, sorry. The battery still works. I mean, the camera still works. So the good news is, that's exactly right. Oh my goodness. Wow, tell me your name. Jimmy? Good to see you, my friend. That's going back a bit. Wow, good for you. Okay, so I of course took a photo when I first got here. I'm very glad that I did, because just in those few minutes, as I said, the sun just coming around the corner of a building completely changed. It's not a bad picture now, but it's not as good as it was. And that is the what's the word? That's the essence of plein air painting, isn't it? That is also why so many plein air painters, I think the most traditional plein air painting is a 25 or 30-minute painting, something like that. And you know, and a traditional painting is 8 by 10 inches as well. Traditional plein air painting, I should say, is, you know, roughly 8 by 10 inches. And I say that, you know, the day that they explained to us that you're supposed to paint small in plein air, I must have been absent that day. I just must have not been there, because I completely missed that. And by the time I learned that, oh, you mean you're supposed to paint small? It was way too late. The calf was out of the gate. I was already painting huge. In fact, I was in a competition last spring, not too many miles from here, another neighboring state. I was in a plein air competition, and all the other paintings were standard plein air paintings. You know, 8 by 10 inches, 10 by 12, 11 by 14 maybe at the biggest. And mine, I think, was either 30 by 40 or 24 by 36. And as I suspected, the judge, one of the judges sent an emissary out to the artists, and somebody had to question me, or question somebody and say, did he really do this? You know, is this really all in plein air? So I'm glad they asked rather than just eliminating, and I won first place, by the way. But not because my painting was large, but I hope it was because my painting was good. Anyway, so I do paint considerably larger than normal. That means I'm out here. You could almost say that I don't do plein air painting. You could almost say, I don't say it, by the way, I disagree with this, but you could almost say I do studio paintings on location, because my plein air paintings are so different from the traditional plein air paintings. And now all I need is a little holder for my phone with the photograph on it. That would be swell. That's all I need in life. That's all I need in life. Don't you wish your needs were so small? I really do always enjoy my first white layer, because I look at the subject matter through a different lens. Instead of looking for dark things, I'm looking for light things. I see it a lot different. Okay, that's probably good enough. It'll take just a minute for that to dry. And let's see if anybody's left any comments. I'll look at those right now. That might give my white paint enough time to dry, or I might have to pause. Let's see. Anybody saying anything over here? Dr. Ice Tea. Will you sell that painting? I certainly will, Doctor. I certainly will. Normally it goes to one of my galleries here in North Carolina. But if somebody makes an offer, I will consider it. We'll talk about that later. Let's see how good it turns out first. Okay, so now I'm doing the, spread out whatever paint is still wet, that trick, right, again. And it looks like it's mostly dry, so that's good news. A little bit wet, but not too bad. Okay, so time to do another glaze, or glazes, as the case may be. And I'm about to get blasted by sunlight here. It looks like I might even have to put an umbrella on my easel. Yeah, which is another thing I've tricked out my easel with, is an attachment to hold umbrellas. Lots and lots and lots of yellow in this scene today, because that's how it feels. The sun hitting these yellow orange leaves. Okay. Now let's do some more blue up here in the sky. I don't always do blue in the sky, by the way. Neither should you. That old roses are red, violets are blue. If you're an artist, it's not true for you. I just made that up right then. I might use it again. Let me say it again. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you're an artist, is there something better that's not true for you? Something that would mean that same thing? If roses are red, violet, if you're an artist, ignore all that stuff. So, just because, you don't paint the sky, I remember so well. I was 12 years old when I got my first oil painting kit. I didn't really do much with it, by the way. I was not a prodigy. I was a good drawer, but I was not a good painter at age 12. But my parents got me an oil painting kit, and I remember the very first painting I did. It's like a typical kid, kind of a landscape out of my head. And I painted the grass green. And my dad, who was a pretty good painter, he very gently looked at my painting and said, I think I was called Danny back then. So, Danny, what color is that grass? I think that's all he said. I don't even think he corrected me. I think he just said, what color is that grass? And I went, oops. It was a good oops. Okay, now I am going to have to let this dry. Let me see if there's any more comments. Any more comments? Yeah, okay. Toby, how important is local color to you in a painting? Great question, Toby. Oh my goodness, how important is local color? I would say fairly important, because I'm a fairly realistic representational painter. But in the underpainting stage, that's another story. A lot of times you create a really dramatic vibration by doing an underpainting that is in fact opposite. This is a very traditional approach. You may know, very traditional approach to painting is, do yellow, orange, pink under the sky. If your sky is going to be blue. So I stick to, hang on, wait for that truck to go by. I stick to local color pretty much in the final stages. By no means a slave. If somebody's got a red jacket and I think it ought to be green, then it turns green. But in the underpainting, oftentimes a complementary color is what's called for. Let me see. Well, thank you. Good question, Toby. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'm going to let this dry, and I'll be back in a few minutes with the next stage, which I'm not sure what it is yet. We'll figure that out. Thanks for watching.